So, B will come to me and she'll be like, nice set. And obviously I have my little technicals that I have to be like, oh, this moment, this or this moment that I'm very like, I'm a perfectionist, which is another like strength and weakness. I do believe it's dual purpose. But then when people come up to me, it's like this beautiful response where I just didn't expect someone will be like, oh, your story touched me. Oh, that one song was beautiful. Oh, I love your rap part. Or, oh, your dancing is amazing. Oh, wow, your voice is nice. Like this one show, I had kids come up to me like they were so shy to talk to me. They were like, we like your songs. You dance very nicely. Like they were just, but like these are responses that I never... I can't sit at home and fathom that these things are people want to say back to me.
Or really old people come up to Shelton and be like, wow, that was so amazing.
Yes, I love when the grannies are like, you have a lovely voice. I'm like, I won the granny over, but you know what I mean? So I think it's just all those beautiful things that when you let go, it's like the universe like rewards you with so much more. Like you said, like the universe rewards you like with so much more. And it's tenfold, like you said, from what you expected. And I wanted to also, sorry, this is my last point. Very, very short, guys. I talk a lot.
You guys will soon come to see that. Yeah, Shelton has like a running stream of consciousness, and sometimes he'll literally talk for 2 hours straight.
And then I'll be like...
And then he'll be like, anyways, yeah. Yes. I'm like, no, not anyways.
But you okay with it now, eh?
Of course.
I do, guys. Like, I think that's one thing that I love about Bianca, is that she's really like patient with me. I've met a lot of people that aren't, and I can start reading and feeling people's energy that when they're like, yo, this guy talks a lot. Like people have said that to me. They're like, yo, but you talk a lot, eh? And so Bianca just always is like, no, it's fine. Like it's cool. And I think I've kind of infected her as well with it. Like,
I think
she came from this trip.
I have ups and downs, so I know.
No, but you've like gotten like now you like bad. You like infected.
I guess so. I think also through like when I was studying holistic health coaching, one of the things that we were taught is active listening, and so I remember like especially when I was really within the course, I would use Shelton as like my guinea pig, and I would practice active listening with Shelton, and now it's just like normal because I think. This is a whole other thing, but just a little side note. It's very important to let people speak and not have them speak so that they can finish and then you say what you want to say. And that's something that's like, oh, it's such a big pet peeve for me when I'm talking to someone and they either go on their phone.
I definitely used to be like that. I used to want to like respond to I used to want to like get my points across.
Respond.
Yes.
So when people go on their phones or when they literally will start sighing, or like you can just read in someone's body language when they're starting to be like, okay, so that's a big pet peeve of mine because I also feel like our attention spans are so short now. Where we really struggle as people to be very present in the moment. Put your phone down and just listen to whatever the person has to say and hold that space for them and give them that time, and not listen so that you can come in and say your own thing, but listening just so that they can talk.
Sorry guys, our light's tripping. Hello?
I think it's good. Yeah, it's good now.
Anyway,
so
thank you for holding the space for me.
I
think this is what I'm trying to express. Thank you so much for being patient with me and just allowing me to always just ramble on. I just wanted to know, I wanted to add to something you said earlier that was so amazing. You said just something about like you obviously like detach and then you let the universe like do its thing and then you get something tenfold. I think the beautiful thing about that is like, don't be fooled by the whole, guys, let go, it's gonna come to you, like let go, it's gonna come, like don't be fooled by the exact like, just like the exact promise that you think that you've made for yourself, like you think you're gonna get that exact thing. Don't fall into that trap of thinking when someone says let go, they meaning let go, that exact thing is gonna come how you want it to come. It's like when you let go, you will understand that one, it will not come as I said earlier, as soon as you think it's gonna come, and two, you may not get that thing. Like Bianca's been saying that so much of late, just when you like, and that's also okay when something doesn't work out, like just accepting that that's probably not meant to happen. You know, I think it was like, I want to like, I know we're going to be success, like our special aspiration is to like be super successful and like set off break our like generational curses. So like for me that's a big thing. So I know, but I just want to like express this one part. I know it's like very private, but not too private. Bianca was just saying something about like she may not be able to buy these dream houses for like the entire family, and that's probably not gonna happen. And I was like, damn, why are you saying that? Like I want us to like buy, but when I think a moment after I was like, oh my word, like that is possible. Like that is also possible. It may also just go that way. Like, and this is just a general example. I know you're gonna buy everyone mansions.
Of course,
okay?
It's happening.
But like, I'm just saying, like,
it's
should also be okay.
Practicing the law of detachment in that sense again. Not being so fixated on it must happen like this in this way, and if it doesn't, then I'm a failure. Yes, exactly. I think that is like the problem with it. It's like when you don't get that exact thing, you're so quick to like shout the word failure or like talk down on yourself and just not be nice to yourself, that you probably miss the beauty that was right around the corner. And so you just stop working, or you stop going after it, or you stop believing that this thing can come to life, and you do all sorts of things to just like jeopardize like your progress because you didn't when you were told to let go, you did let go. But then the VJ search, for me for example, I had this VJ search entrance, it was Live Amp in 2010. Yeah, so I did the VM remember VM, it was like the music show. And so I basically tried to Live Amp. I'm like VM. I'm like, what is I'm like, what is VM, bro? Live Amp on SBC1. Yeah. So I was like trying to get this thing right. So I went through every single thing possible to like make it happen. I entered my tape, all these different things. And I was like super, super like in the church. I was like waking up every morning at 5, making my mom and them lunch. I remember I walked I was in Brum, and I walked in Brum and someone's car stuck, and I stopped and I pushed his car. I was like, what would Jesus do? Like I was heavy in it, but I realized at that time now, but then I didn't know, but now I realized that I was doing that. It felt good surrendering and like trusting the universe and like trusting God and all these different things. But what I also know is that I was trying to manipulate the universe and God to kind of give me this Live Amp thing, because I've sacrificed so much and I've sacrificed myself, and then it didn't happen. And I promise you, I stopped going to church for like a bit of time. I was angry at God. So that's basically like my equivalent to, a lot of people may not believe in God. You may believe in another, religion, but I do think it's the same thing. It's like when you, that let go thing, that surrender thing, that trusting, that faith thing is like when you have faith, of course you have all these expectations when you have faith. But when that thing doesn't happen, I think you need to like feast your eyes and like rest in like the faith of it and like what you love doing and you enjoy creating and you enjoy doing these things, as opposed to that result, because that result is not going to happen. For example, you can literally just be like, okay, cool, I still love doing this thing. And if you can find yourself doing this thing without the results that you have set up for yourself not happen, that is, you're on a good path to like 1, detachment, and 2, into flow state, and 3, I think just really building a great relationship with like letting go and having faith. Because if you can't let go and have faith with a result in mind and be attached to it. There's just no way. Like you will, when you don't get that thing, you're going to stop having faith and you're going to stop letting go. You're going to be like, oh, let me control it. Nah, I left it up to the universe. Now I'm going to try and make everything happen in my power to make this thing happen. And chances are you might not. But the point is like, if you let go, you have superpowers. Like you will be able to enjoy every second of every single day, and probably even create better and become, you get to where you supposed to get to, meant to get to, that the universe, your destination that you're supposed to actually be at, not this desire you had, your destination you're supposed to be at is probably going to come faster.
and you're probably going to become clearer about your mission and what you're supposed to do. So
yeah, when you let go, it's also about letting go and then still doing your part. So, you know, and what you were saying about letting go, it's not letting go in the literal sense of like letting yourself go and not caring, and you still care and you still put your best foot forward and you still do your best always, but just knowing that, you know, when you let go and still do your part, that's when the abundance comes. That's what I feel.
Can you tell them about the Miami story? This is like one of my biggest, like, I have a lot of stories, my personal, but like this Miami story of Bianca is like one of, I tell it to strangers when I give motivational, like, little advice to little homies. I'll be like, yo, bro, because my girl went to my, I'll literally use that as an example because it was like, I watched it happen, like,
that
in
one,
live
That
time.
one is quite interesting because I think it's a mix of being in my flow state, letting go, but also a little bit of manifestation and like just having so much faith that it's going to work out how it's supposed to. But basically what happened is in, what year was that? 2018. I had essentially entered the global Sports Illustrated swimsuits model search. And so what happens is every year they have this model search and it's held in Miami. And so knowing me, if you guys know me, I'm like a go-getter and I'm just like, you know, I set my mind on something and then I go and do it. And I'd been doing, I think, how many years? 3 years of our local Sports Illustrated swimsuit, which is called Will Swimsuit. So I was like, no, like this is the next step. This is what I want to do. And so I had a look on their website. I created a video. I put it onto Instagram. That's how we entered the model search. And then I was like, I did all of this not knowing exactly how I was even going to get to Miami, which is insane for most people. But I was just like, I don't know. I'm going to get there however I get there, you know? And so I did that. And then now it was time to, you know, book my flights and get my visa and accommodation, you know, and it was very scary. So what had happened was I had saved enough money to book my flight tickets. So that I had booked and I was like, okay, great. I'm going to do that. No, I'm lying. Sorry, guys. Photo shoots, yeah. Wait. Sorry. I decided to start doing shoots to say, like, photographing other models or whoever wanted pictures, really. I started doing that to save cash because I was like, well, I'm going to need money. I don't really know how I'm going to do this. And so now coming back to the flight ticket. So I had saved enough money from that and just other savings that I had to book my flights. But I needed a very, very, very specific amount of cash to complete now my flight purchases. Or, yeah, booking my flights. And, you know, again, I was just like, ooh, I don't know how I'm going to do this. Like, at this point, I'd already booked my accommodation, and I had booked my visa appointment, but I hadn't booked my flights, which is, like, crazy. And back then, I mean, the tickets, it was very expensive. I think it was, like, 20,000 rand or something.
And this is, like, over a period of days, guys. We're not talking about, like, a month or 3 weeks. No, this is, like, a few days, and ticket is booked, visa appointment is happening, but there's dollar money in the account. Nothing.
So I didn't even have like spending money for when I was going to get to the States. Like I didn't know how I was going to do all of that. Anyways, you know, I said to Shelton, like, I need this specific amount still. I don't have it. Like I'm trying to do more shoots so that I can get enough money to book these flights, but I still don't have it. And I literally woke up the next morning and that exact amount had been deposited into my bank account. And I was in complete shock. I was like, this is insane. Like, this is exactly the amount of money that I needed. And I needed it by that day because the ticket prices were going to go up. So I needed it. It was a Saturday morning. That's when I needed this money. And so...
It was like how many models?
So, what, for this cash? It was one girl. One model. Yes. One model, because I had these packages of like, I had like this special package and then I had... just for a full portfolio, there was another fee. And this girl, we had been going back and forth for maybe like 2 or 3 weeks and she just went quiet. So I was like, maybe she's not interested. And she was the one who actually ended up paying that full amount. And I was just like in complete like awe, not disbelief, more awe. And just like, I was so amazed by what trusting the universe can do. And so that's how I was able to, you know, then go and book my flights. But still at this point, okay, so I had my flight ticket, visa appointment, all of that was done, accommodation, but I had no spending money. Like, I had no idea how I was going to get to the US and like what I was going to do when I got there. And so I literally, so all went well basically, and I got to the US, and I remember doing I think it was an affirmation series specifically on wealth. And I was saying things like, I am rich, I have money, I am wealthy, I am abundant. I was just saying this in the mirror. Bear in mind, at this point, I had $200 in my account. That's what I had to get around Miami. Like, that was it.
And you were there for like 2 weeks, huh?
I was there for 2 weeks. And so
that's nothing in America, guys. $200 for 2 weeks.
$200, like insane. So anyways, I'm there with this, you know, $200. And after I did this affirmations exercise, I was like, let me just check my bank account. I don't know why. I don't know what told me to go, but I was like, let me just check.
This is the same day.
This is the same. This is literally 10 minutes after doing the affirmations exercise. I was like, let me go and open my app. I'm like, let's see what's there. Let's see what we can do for me to, like, you know, survive here. Anyways, open up my app, and I have a fat sum of money, like an insane sum of money. Like, I was literally crying, like in shock, in like awe, just everything, all of the emotions and everything. And basically what had happened is, on that day, I'd gotten paid out a usage fee for a TV commercial I did, like, actually that same year. It was the first usage fee for this commercial, and it came out on that day. And I was just like...
And mind you, like,
this
these
is
things
crazy.
Usually take, like, 6 months or 3... Yeah, it takes, like, a while, because... I think, like, it takes, like, 90 days.
Yeah, it takes 90 days to get paid your day rate and stuff, and then usage comes out after that.
So, this was not 6 months later. Like,
I was not expecting it.
The time.
Yeah. So, that's literally what happened. And in that moment, I think that's when I was like, okay, this is real. Like, having faith is real, and believing in something bigger than me is real, and having just the utmost trust in the universe and that I'm going to be taken care of is a real thing, and it's very powerful. And, you know, because at that point I had the utmost faith. I was like, I'm going to be fine. I had $200 in my bank account, and I was like, no, I'll be completely fine. I mean, anyone would look at me like I'm absolutely insane. Like, what are you doing in America with no money? But I just had this belief that I was going to be absolutely fine.
Yeah, that's amazing. I love that story. Like, it always get me. And I think, like, just, you know, when you have, like, an inkling in your heart, or, like, a desire to do something, like Bianca had a desire to go to do the Sports Illustrate in Miami, right? And it's like...
Wait, sorry, before you continue... Yeah, sorry. I ended up missing the actual...
Oh, yeah, so she actually did... Yeah.
I didn't even get to go for the audition, because what happened is my visa appointment happened, actually, I think it was on the day of this audition. But I was like, you know what? I came this far, like, I'm just going to continue, and I'm just going to go, and I'm going to make the most of the trip. And
I guess the lesson was bigger than going to Sports Illustrated. Like, I still remember the lesson that I took from, like, that whole happening, that 2 weeks of building up to this. It was like the faith, and like whether you won Sports Illustrated or not, I don't think I was going to remember, like, Sports Illustrated. Like, you just mentioned that you did World Swimsuit 3 times. I was like, oh damn, you did. And that's what I mean by, like, you don't remember but, like, the universe has, like, this bigger lesson that's just going to, like, change the trajectory of, like, your entire mindset and, like, what you believe and how you look at life. And I think that is more important than, like, these things that we, like, attain, you know. So it's crazy, because that, like, falls into, like, what I wanted to say now. It's like you had this inkling, and, like, you had this desire that you wanted to go after something. And I think the most amazing thing was, like, yes, you wanted to go do the Sports Illustrate, but, like, I think at the same time, when you're making when you did the manifestation for the wealth, like you were not specific. You know what I mean? Like you weren't like entirely specific to be like, I want this amount of money and it needs to come like this week because I have no money. You were vague, and I think like that's what I found in today. Like only now I'm realizing that when you ask the universe for something, or when you like manifest stuff, when you meditate on stuff, it's the best. I think Abraham Hicks also talks about it. Like it's the best to be as vague as you can. Like I'm not saying now just go be like, yeah, I want to fly, and then you just, you know, hopefully get an airplane ticket. Or no, I mean like obviously you have this desire that you want to do, but like I think leaving out the details to the universe is important, and kind of like having like this leaving the universe to we'll deal with that now. I'm gonna lose this thought. Sorry guys, we'll tell you guys now. Leaving the details to the universe is so important, because then you can focus all of your energy on like that desire that you still have there. I think, you know,
you can focus all of your energy on the flow state.
Yes, exactly. You know, like all of those things that you're feeling and that's inspiring, that inspiring feeling inside of you, like just all of that. Like if you just focus on that energy and you just keep feeding that, I think the little details will take care of itself. And I mean, the universe could have sent you $1,000, but they were like, "Hell, here we go, bang!" You know, and you were like, "Good." So amazing, yeah, guys. I think that's pretty much. You know, could you want to tell them what happened?
With what? Oh gosh, guys. So Blake is here in the room. So we have Blake sleeping on the side here. We have Mikey. If you're watching the video, Mikey's been sleeping on my lap. He's just... Anyways, Blake is our senior Chihuahua, and for the last 2 weeks, he's had the worst stomach, like the most upset stomach. And yeah, he's just got the most disgusting farts at the moment. Yeah. And he just farted right now, and that's why we couldn't hold back our laugh. It smells so bad. It's distinct,
it's aggressive.
It is disgusting.
It's violent.
It's invasive.
It like stops you in your tracks. Like I stopped thinking for a second, and I was like, no, let's go wipe out your memory. If you smell long enough, you'll get amnesia. Like it will literally brainwash you if you smell long enough. So no, that was why we were laughing.
Sorry
in the
guys,
midst of
it's bad. Like you're
chat.
lucky you couldn't smell that. I think it's important to maybe talk about how we feel when we're in our flow state. So I'll share a little bit. Like I know that when I'm in my flow state, I'm happy. I feel liberated. I feel very in touch with my feminine energy. And as humans, we have two different types of energy. Whether you're a man or a woman, like whatever your gender, we have masculine energy and feminine energy, which we'll go into maybe in another episode. But I feel very in touch with my feminine energy. I feel just bliss, you know. There's no stress. I'm not worried about, oh my gosh, what's happening later? Where do I have to be? Or, you know, rent, or just things like that. Like when I'm in my flow state, none of that matters. I don't even know what day it is. Like most of the time, I don't know what I ate the day before. I don't know what I wore the day before. Like ask Shelton, he'll tell you. He'll be like, what was I wearing yesterday? I have no idea. Half the time, I don't know. I don't know what day of the week it is sometimes. And I know it sounds a bit crazy, but honestly, it's because I'm in my flow state as much as possible. And when I'm in that state, time doesn't really matter. I don't even know anything about time or, you know, responsibilities or anything like that. It allows me to escape, and I feel very in touch with my inner child.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
Are you done? Do you have more?
Done. No, I'm done.
Okay, cool. That's beautiful. I think for me, I think a lot of that as well. The inner child, yes. Like I have a lot of energy. Like I don't take myself too seriously. I have a lot of fun. Like Bianca knows there's like an atmosphere in the house where we're always like laughing and cracking jokes. We're
literally laughing from the moment we wake up to the time we go to bed.
And yeah, and you will, if you were like a fly on the wall, you will see when we like in our flow state and when we're not. It's like very, very like when we stressed or when there's a lot is happening. I think when AJ passed, you know, you could feel that like we were in a whole different, the house was like in a whole different state because we were like feeling something. So sorry, that's like a bad example, but like it is like a contrast to like being just like
Just
like
open.
running in the gardens and like birds are chirping. You know what I mean? It's like it's a total opposite example of the feeling of that. And also, I feel at peace, a lot of ease. Like I feel like a lot of grace. Like I feel like I do everything gracefully. I'm very light on my feet. My gaze rests. So like my eyes, like everything. I breathe better. I can feel myself breathe. I eat better. I do. I'm very conscious about like my diet when I'm like in flow state. Like I'm like, oof, now I'll usually have 4 sly. I'll have like 2 sly.
And the reason for that is because you're in the present.
Yes, exactly. You know, and I'm very like aware of like how my body feels when I eat this or when I eat that. So I love water, so obviously I'll drink water, but I'll drink even more water when I'm in flow state. I'll constantly just fill up my bottle, fill up my cup, excuse the pun. You know, like yeah, like it's all those different. I can go on forever, but I think those are like the things that really stand out for me, that I know that I would not have felt that way or experienced these things a few years ago, because I didn't understand flow state or surrender to it or experience it. So
I think it's also important to note that
we are very creative. Like our work ethic is like through the roof.
Oh, very true.
It's crazy.
We also don't think twice about something. We're like, you want to do this? Okay, let's do it. We're not like, but maybe this time, because I'm usually that person. Shelton will be like, let's do this, let's post this thing, and I'm like, and like, you know, really just trying to calculate and see like, is this the right time? Is it not the right time? And I'm just more in my head when I'm not in my flow state. Whereas when I'm in my flow state, I'm more in my body and I let my body lead.
And both of our strengths and natures is like the grind. Like I do know we love the grind, but like the grind from the flow state, not the grind from like the masculine, like paranoid, like egotistical, like I'm worried, I'm trying to achieve this, like you're doing it out of fear. Like the grind from like, because the nice thing with the flow state grind is you also equally able to go from this crazy day to like completely shut down and rest, and like you don't even think about it, you're not stressed, you're not worried. But I think when you're in like the fearful grind state, you kind of, when you're resting, you kind of think, shucks, I'm wasting time, like I need to, you know what I mean? So there's a very big difference. That's a big difference for me, because I never liked resting. Bianca knows, like that was like my first thing she kept telling me, like you gotta rest, you gotta take days off.
I
used
also
to burn
never
out
liked it either.
monthly, literally. Like I used to burn out. Like remember, I'd burn out
all the
every
time.
second week. Actually, I'd burn out, recover for a week, go crazy for 2, burn out. I would burn out like the whole year back to back like that, because I didn't understand the whole like rest.
And that rest is productive. You have to rest to be able to create and work. You know? I think it's also important to talk about why it's beneficial for us. So if you guys are listening and you're wondering, like, why would it be beneficial to me to, you know, learn more about the flow state or see how I can put that into my day? Because we're all different, of course, and we do have, you know, some people are parents or work very, very demanding jobs, but I do believe that everyone can find a way to cultivate that flow state into their lifestyle. And so I feel it's important because it helps us to maintain good mental health. Like I feel happier, you know, especially stress. Like stress is a big one. Stress, people are literally falling sick because of stress. And oftentimes what I'm observing is that only when people have fallen sick or something really bad has happened, then they're like, oh, I need to manage my stress. But it's a serious thing, and I really do feel that I want to have a long, enjoyable life. You know, I don't want I don't want to let these years, maybe like my prime years now, negatively impact my later years. And so that's why it's very, very important for me to make sure that I'm doing things that help me be in my flow state as much as possible. Yeah. And also helping us to get out of our comfort zone. Yes, flow state.
What flow state helps with is basically help you navigate through life. It really does. It's a tool that helps you navigate through, and I mean your entire life. You learn how to regulate everything when you stay in the flow state. So if you're stressed, you know what you're going to do. You're going to go sit on a mat. You're just going to go breathe. That's it. if you like feeling like you have to go people please, or if you catch yourself in the moment people pleasing, that's also a benefit of a flow state. You can be in the midst of people pleasing and you'll catch yourself. Like flow state will help you be like, oh shucks, it happens to you, especially when you're practicing flow state. Like it will just meet you somewhere where you realize, oh damn, I don't have to do that. Oh, I don't have to do this. So I think it just helps you regulate and navigate through life with tools. You're not just like waking up tomorrow and be like, we'll see how tomorrow goes. It's like, no, you're actually in control of the day. You feel in full control of your day. It's like how presence makes you feel. Presence gives you full control. Whether it's a situation is extremely terrible or extremely great, you have full control of that present moment, and the tools, you'll figure out how to deal with that situation, like when it arrives, because you're so present and you're right there with it. You're not stressed about what's gonna happen, that's gonna happen. You're dealing with that thing at that time. So I think that's the amazing thing about flow states and presence and all those things.
I also just wanted to add that it's definitely something that takes practice and time, and like as you were explaining that presence exercise that you would do in the morning when you look up at the ceiling and all of that. Shelton first did that in 2012.
Yeah.
Right? So that's long ago. Obviously he didn't have a name for it.
Doing,
yeah, he didn't have a name for it, but that's how long, it's been, like this journey of doing things like being in the present and the law of detachment, all of that. It takes time and practice. So, it's also not like we these perfect beings who just flow through life. No, like there are some times where we're like not in our flow state, and then we'll just hold space for each other and be like, hey, like, are you okay? Or, I can see you're a bit stressed, or you're a bit like edgy or irritated or, and I think it's nice that we also hold each other accountable and be there for each other in that way. So, oh no, Blake just farted again.
Anyway, guys, I think Blake is telling us that...
Blake's telling us that it's over.
He wants to be out of here. So, this was amazing.
This was amazing.
We hope it was, insightful for you guys. I think this is our conversations on the daily, so we're glad that we were able to have one of these, because we definitely had, some points that we wanted to talk about, but I think the beautiful thing is...
it's an ongoing conversation as well.
We just get so caught up in, that specific topic, because we talk about it every day, especially the past few months. So I'm glad that we were able to have one of those conversations with you guys, because usually it's like in the car. We literally had it today again, one of those. Oh my gosh,
we're like, this is a podcast. Yeah.
Anyway, cool, man.
Anyways, we love you guys. We'll see you in the next one.
Thanks for supporting the first episode. Hope you guys enjoyed it as well.
Yes.
And keep rocking with us. It's better on this side, man.
It's better on this side. Bye, guys.